There's a part of the world that feels kind of magical to me, even if you have to bundle up a little bit to see it. It has forests, creeks, and often little surprises. No matter the weather, I love wandering around, taking it all in. But there's another reason I keep coming back here. Today, I'm leaving Shenzhen for a small town I haven't been to in a really long time. Where am I going?
I'm going to America.
But to get there, it's going to take a while. The US is a big place, with a lot of small towns. This one happens to have a lot of mountains and trees nearby, and it's the place I grew up. This is Damascus, Oregon. With one light and a road going through it, most people don't even stop. They just drive on by. But since this place means something to me, I wanted to stop and take some photos. So let me show you what I found. One of the first things I noticed were all the stores that I used to go to as a kid. This Dairy Queen was always a fun place to hang out with my friends. But there weren't that many other places to eat, so it's nice to see that this food truck park has popped up. The fire station is exactly the same. And this part of town had a vibe that I was never really that fond of. The town itself really hasn't changed that much, so I started taking pictures of some small things that I thought were really beautiful. And it led me to this park that I haven't been to since I was a kid. It's really cool to look at all the brightly colored leaves that are everywhere right now. This is something I definitely miss, because the area I live in, China, doesn't really have much seasonal change. That reminds me, there's something China-related in the grocery store across the street that always puzzled me as a kid. Maybe I can figure it out now that I've lived in China for a while. Growing up, I was always confused by this little section of the grocery store, the Asian food section. It was always at the end of one aisle, with a few items that I had no idea what they were, and I never ate them. And now, even though it's a pretty sad selection, I recognize a lot of these things. And they look delicious. In fact, it's making me hungry for Chinese food right now. So I decided to ask a local if they knew of any nearby Chinese restaurants. Do you know where the closest Chinese restaurant is in Damascus?
No.
No.
Oh, there's one in Boring.
Is there?
Called Red Apple.
Red Apple? Oh, okay. Maybe I'll check that out.
Okay. Yeah.
Just curious.
Craving some Chinese.
Yeah, I have a little craving. Yes, I do have a craving, and thankfully Boring isn't that far away. And yes, Boring is boring. There's not much going on there. I actually have spent a lot of time here. I went to grade school nearby. But the Red Apple, I've never heard of that place. But if they have Chinese food, I've got to check it out. American and Chinese food. That's right. This place serves some American favorites like burgers and fries, in addition to Chinese food. Looking over the menu, I got a little nervous and I forgot which language to speak to the server.
Something to drink besides water?
Cha or tea?
Tea. Okay.
This happens sometimes. Oh well. Finally, I decided to get one of these vegetable combination dishes to stay a little healthy, and a Sichuan chicken, which sounded so good to me. Both of them came with these soups that had little crackers in them. That was new. The food was more of an American version of Chinese food. No zing, no spice. I think my white face doesn't unlock the secret menu. The bill came with fortune cookies, which is pretty common here, so I opened one up, hoping for the best. Fortune cookies are always kind of random, but I like the sentiment of this one. The truth is, engaging my creative side, it can be a struggle. I usually get ideas by going somewhere new and having fresh experiences. But coming back to my hometown, it isn't new at all. I've done it a million times. And yet every time I do it, I learn something about myself. Observing the growing trees and whatever else is sprouting up helps me reflect on how I've grown since the last time I was here. So I'll keep walking and keep looking for whatever I can find further down the trail.